Good morning. This is Christine. It's September 4, 2014. I don't know if I should be sharing what I share on this channel. Because I know whatever you share, let it be edifying to the whole body. And some of these things are just personal stuff in my own life, so I don't know, but maybe it will help somebody else. I had a dream last night. I was in a full-size Sierra pickup truck, like a big one. I was the one driving, and I was in my neighborhood where I grew up, at my parents' house. I went up the road, and this is a small paved road. You can fit 2 cars on it, but it's kind of tight. You have more room if you're just your own single car and you're kind of centered in the road. You have to kind of hug the berm of the road if there's 2 cars coming, until you pass each other, and then you move over to the center lane again. Well, I went up the hill, I went up the road, made a right-hand turn, and there's a house there, which I don't know. I mean, I know it just to see it, but no children that I ever went to school with lived there, so there really isn't anybody that I know who used to live in that house. But that's where I got stuck. I was driving down the road, and I was the big full-size Sierra pickup truck. I'm talking like my driver's side door and passenger side door, and then also the 2 back seat doors where you could actually put children in the back, and an extended cab, and then a short cab, or a short bed, because Sierra trucks, they don't make full-size beds for, like the truck that has the 4 doors and an extended cab. I mean, in real life they don't. I don't know in this dream if I had a full-size bed in the back of the pickup truck, but nonetheless, this was, a behemoth. It was a big truck that I was driving. And a little white car, like a rabbit, or like a, I don't know, it was just, or a cabriolet. It was a small car. Came in the opposite lane, and they were flying. I was going slow because it was, an off-road. It wasn't a main highway, and I was trying to be careful. Now, keep in mind that my truck did not have power steering. It was so the steering was hard. I don't know if you've ever driven a vehicle that doesn't have power steering. You can. I used to have one, a smaller car, but the steering wheel doesn't turn that easily. You have to literally turn the steering wheel as you're turning the tires, as you're moving the car. With power steering, you can actually move the steering wheel even if the car is stationary. Well, this truck did not have power steering, so the steering wheel was hard to turn. In other words, it was kind of hard to steer the truck. And with this car coming in my direction in the opposite lane, and for how fast they were going, it kind of startled me. So I went to move over to the right side of the road, because, like I said, the road is it's tight. You're going to be, both of you are going to be hugging the berm of the road to get past each other on this road, and then you move back over to the center. Well, when I moved over, there actually is a ditch in front of this house in real life, and I ended up going into it in my dream. So I had the big truck, and I went into the ditch, but I also came back up and out of it, because it's a big truck. It can handle, 4-wheeling and stuff like that. So it wasn't a deep ditch, but there actually is a ditch in front of this house in real life in my neighborhood where I was in this dream, and I ended up in it. So this little car just zipped right past me and didn't even think twice about that he had just run me off the road. And he was, kept going and was gone. I didn't see him anymore. So now my truck because I had a hard time steering it, because I didn't have power steering, and because it was so big, it took up a lot of room on the road, I tried to swerve because he was coming at me so fast. So I turned off of the road, and I ended up in the ditch because I couldn't control the truck, and then in the ditch, and then back up out of the ditch. So now I'm sitting with the truck in this house's front yard. And I get out, I try to start the truck again because I thought, well, if I managed to get through that ditch, then I could probably just, drive through the yard and get back on the road. Like drive through the yard and the driveway and then get back on the road and keep going. And I was on my way actually to a concert. The word Wilkinsburg was what was in my mind. Wilkinsburg is in Pennsylvania. I've never been there. I take that back. I dated a guy once, and he lived there with his parents. This is my early 20s. So I have been there the one time because he took me to his parents' house, but I don't know Wilkinsburg. I wouldn't even know how to get there because I went there with him. I don't even know how to get there, but apparently I was going to a concert at Wilkinsburg, PA, I guess, unless there's another Wilkinsburg somewhere else in the U.S. And I don't even live in Pennsylvania. But now I'm sitting in my truck is stalled in the front yard of this house, and I try to start it, and it cranks a little bit, like it's like it's trying to start, and then all of a sudden it doesn't. It just stops trying. And I did that about 2, maybe 3 times, and I got out of the truck and I realized I'm stuck here. The car doesn't work. There were 3 kids running around on the street / yard, wherever. 3 little children, like elementary school age. And I don't know. I don't think they were mine. I think they belonged to like one of the houses in the neighborhood, and they were just out playing because it was after school time and the children were allowed to play. So they were standing there watching me. And I knew I was stranded. They knew I was stranded, and all of a sudden a guy showed up. And for some reason I knew in the back of my mind that I was married, but my husband was away for some reason. I don't know, like on work or on business or something. He was away. And I'm not married in real life, so, but in this dream I sort of knew that I was married, but I didn't have a way to contact him, and I really didn't know if I wanted to. I was kind of scared because, the last thing, when he's away, the last thing he wants to hear is that, oh, honey, I've, destroyed the truck. This is why I'm saying I don't know if I should be sharing this dream. But a guy showed up from out of nowhere. I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have anything on me. There was nobody apparently living in this house. I didn't even try to go to the door to see if I could use a phone or anything. I just pretty much stood there, not knowing where to turn next. And then this guy showed up, and he ended up being, the word the father just came up in my head. So when I looked at him, he was an older gentleman, but not gray hair older gentleman, just an older gentleman. And I knew he was the father of, I don't know, just that's the word, that's the the name that was coming to me when I looked at him. But I didn't know of who or of what, because he wasn't my dad. And he was telling me, apparently I figured out that he was my father-in-law. In the dream I found out. I just figured it out later on. And so he shows up wanting to help me because my husband is not around. He's away at work. And he tells me Now this truck that I have has dual gas tanks, and he was telling me that one of the gas tanks needs to be changed, and he has a truck at home, and he would be willing to take one of my gas tanks and put his gas tank from his old car on mine, and then the car would work. And I was thankful, and I was like, okay, but in my head I was wondering, how is changing a gas tank, especially giving me an older gas tank, gonna make this car run? It's not turning over, but I didn't say anything. I just was thinking that. I didn't think the gas tank had anything to do with it. But in real life, actually, I haven't been feeling very energetic lately, so maybe the gas tank is, the Lord's going to give me a new fuel tank, new energy, because I don't have much energy lately. And the next thing I know, we're at my parents' house, which is now sort of my house, but my parents are not there, and my husband and I live there. The truck is parked in the driveway, and my father-in-law is there. He's in the backyard doing gardening, which is something that my dad likes to do anyways. My dad he likes to garden. But the father-in-law was doing that, and all of a sudden, my husband, he comes home, and he finds out, about the truck, and we try to start it, but it just cranks, it turns over, but it won't start, and then eventually it stops, so we don't even continue trying. And the father-in-law tells my husband, buy her a new car, get her a new vehicle. And I'm standing next to him, and I'm like, oh my gosh, because for one thing, if you have a husband and you destroy the car, that's not something he wants to hear, because if you have to replace a vehicle, that's expensive, and that's just another financial burden on his shoulder. So when the father-in-law said that, buy her a new car, he said it with a smile on his face, and he was happy. He was happy and content. He said, just get her a new car. And the husband was very happy too. He had a smile on his face. He had joy in his heart. He just had like sunshine shining out of his eyes and his smile. He was just happy, and he was content. He was like, okay, we'll get her a new car. And he just thought nothing of it. Like you're spending a nickel or something. He just thought nothing of it. But I was nervous, because I had, destroyed it, and this was going to be a big financial responsibility now, and it was because of me, because I had run it into the ditch, and now it wouldn't start. And but he was more than happy to get it, and he didn't think anything of it, about getting me a different car. So he and I, the husband and me, we started walking around the truck to the passenger side, and the father-in-law was still in the backyard. He went back to his gardening and his pruning, and he was asking me, why I was going to Wilkinsburg to this concert, and he wasn't judging me or condoning me or anything like that. And he also was mentioning other places that I wanted to go with this truck, and like grocery shop and stuff like that. But they were errands, and he was letting me know that the truck is, it's for things. It's to be used for things of the household, to get things done for the household and the children and the family in general. It's not used for like pleasure seeking. And going to a concert was not, how is that helpful to the family? It's not. It's a pleasure thing. But he wasn't condoning me, or making me feel guilty or anything like that. He was just showing me sort of that my reasoning was a little off, and that the vehicle is there to build up and take care of the family. And what I'm thinking is, it's not my family with me and him and any children we might have had, because I don't think I had, that it was, first of all, I don't even know that I was married to this guy, but the family was like the family of God type thing. It's you're supposed to use the vehicle, and I'm wondering now if the vehicle is our body, for the benefit of the family of God. Don't use it for pleasure seeking or to go off and do your own thing. Use it for the building up of your body. And when I landed the truck in the ditch, and then it came up out of the ditch, later on, what came to me is that scripture verse, if the blind lead the blind, won't they both end up in a ditch? So what I'm thinking, first of all, the steering was very hard, so I didn't really know how to steer the truck. Then that car that was flying past me rattled me, and that's why I went too far to the side of the road so that he wouldn't hit me head on. And in doing that, and going too far to the side of the road, and in having a steering wheel that was too hard that I couldn't turn the steering wheel, with the truck not moving fast, all of that together just landed me in the ditch. And then the fact that I was on my way to a concert, it just tells me that I don't know I don't know how to drive the vehicle. I don't know how to drive the truck, obviously. And maybe the Lord was just telling me, you don't know which way you're going, kiddo. But he was nice about it. The father-in-law was nice about it. And they wanted to get me a new truck, a new vehicle. So to me, maybe I'm getting a new gas tank. And this could be for all of us, not just me. A new gas tank, which means new energy. It's a new spark. Spark plugs, new spark. A new truck is a new vehicle. It's a new body. The Lord's going to make us all new. And he did not yell at me at all that this had happened. He was more concerned, and he just led me and guided me, and kind of showed me the error of my ways, to use the vehicle for the edifying and the building up of the family. Use it for errands to take care of the family, not to go to concerts or pleasure places that how is that benefiting the family? If you take the truck to the grocery store, then that's an errand to help the family, because you're feeding the family. If you take it to the store because you need to get some new clothes for your children, then that's helping the family, because you're using the truck to clothe and take care of the family. So he was just trying to tell me to use the truck, use the vehicle for the benefit and the help and the upbuilding of the family, not for your own pleasure seeking, to make yourself happy. And it doesn't edify the family of God, the body of God at all. That's what I'm getting from this dream. But I really liked that he didn't yell at me, and say, what's the matter with you? You don't know how to drive a truck or anything like that, because some men could fly off the handle like that. But he didn't. He responded totally in love, and he had joy in his heart, sunshine in his eyes and in his smile, and he was more than happy to get me a new vehicle. And then he explained to me what the new vehicle is to be used for. And it was like nothing for him. To get me a new vehicle, he didn't think twice about the cost. And the father-in-law, both of them, yeah, and the father-in-law, both of them were very happy to do it. So just wanted to share that. I don't know. It's making me think. I don't know if it'll help anyone else to maybe look at your life and the deeds that you do in a different eye, because none of us wants to end up in a ditch. And maybe the Lord is going to give us all a new gas tank, new energy, new spark, and a new vehicle, which is a new body. I think we're going through a transition of some sort, but I had to destroy the old truck, even if it was on accident, with hard steering, because you don't know how to run your truck, you don't know how to steer it, you don't know how to steer your life, so you drive it in a ditch by accident. But I had to destroy the old truck in order to get the new one. And we have to let go of our old life in order to get the new one. So that's sort of what came to me when I woke up. I just thought I'd share, and hopefully it helps somebody else. I know it made me think, about my walk with the Lord. So thank you. Have a wonderful day, everyone. God bless, and bye-bye. Take care.